Welcome to Baxter's weekly yoga balance pose. I'm here at the Oakland Yoga Studio in Oakland, California, and for today's balance posture, which I'm calling powerful, powerful pose. That's right, powerful, powerful pose. You need two blocks. If you only have one block, you can use that between the legs and pretend like you have a second block between your hands. So we're going to do a little variation on Utkatasana, powerful pose. And so I'm going to take my two blocks, I'm going to place one block right in between my inner thighs, about halfway between my knees and my pubic bone. I'm going to take the other block between my hands. I'm going to adjust my feet so I've got a nice firm squeeze in the block, and some of you might want to turn the block back just slightly behind you to get a little more of that feeling of internal rotation in the legs. Take your other block between your hands, and on an inhale, bring the block forward and up. And it doesn't have to be completely vertical, but taking that, and you're just going to come into an easy little bend of the knees. So I'm not leaning forward in this version, and I'm going to give you a side view of this in a second, but you're just bending your knees straight forward and sitting down a little bit. So I have a natural curve in my lower back. And then from here, the tricky balancing part is I'm going to actually lift my heels up about 2 or 3 inches off the floor and try to maintain some steadiness. So the heels are up, and I'm on the balls of my feet. I'm going to keep the big toe and the little toe side of the ball of the foot even on the floor if I can. And then as I inhale, I'm going to lower the heels, straighten the knees, and exhale the arms down to the sides. Let me show that to you from the side view. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. Again, if the shoulders are tight, as mine are today, you may not get the arms all the way up and overhead, but take them in that direction. And then bend the knees straight forward. You'll notice I'm not leaning forward, I'm staying pretty upright today. And then with a good squeeze in the block, lift the heels up, just an inch or 2 or 3. Try to stay very steady for several breaths. The longer you stay, the more challenging it will become. So start with 3 breaths, then work to 6 breaths, then 9 breaths, and so on. And then inhale, heels down, exhale the arms down to your sides. Now, if you want to go a little further, set one block off to the side and do it without the block between the inner thighs. The block tends to confer a little advantage for many folks, and you want to remember that feeling of squeezing in and the block pushing out against the legs. So when you do that, you don't want to become knock-kneed, you want to keep your legs parallel with one another. So on an inhale, block goes up and overhead. Exhale, sit down while keeping your spine nice and tall. And then when you're ready, imagine that you're squeezing the block and carefully lift the heels up. So I got a little wobble in and out of my heels when I first came up. I'm going to try and keep that nice and steady. Breath is flowing. Couple of breaths here. And then on an inhale, I lower my heels, straighten my legs, and exhale the arms down to the side. Again, a side view of that without the block. Inhaling. Exhaling, and then lifting the heels up, keeping a nice steady feel in the legs. Inhaling, exhaling to release. So start with 3 or 4 breaths, work your way up gradually to longer and longer holds. That is our balance pose of the week that I'm calling powerful, powerful pose, or powerful Utkatasana balancing pose with the heels lifted. You can follow me on baxterbell.com, on Yoga for Healthy Aging, my blog, and don't forget the new practice channel on Yoga U Online. Until the next time, namaste.